way. You want to get famous, Americans? You want to be a star? Just go have a sex tape. That's the new America. That's the way we roll in America. To quote Anthony Weiner. You see, America, I'm taking over. I understand there's a small patriotic group of you that are trying to stop me and my agenda and the people that work for me. But you will fail. This is your notice.
Since 2008, producers of milk and meat have had to plow on in the face of rising production costs and falling profits, with some farmers taking it much harder than others.
15 days ago, my colleague tried to commit suicide because his bank manager told him his credit won't be renewed. We work very long hours, 7 days a week, so we're socially disconnected from the rest of French society. We work hard and keep our heads down, but when we look around, we ask ourselves, what do we actually have?
The plight of French farmers has been causing alarm in France. A recent report showed that between 2007 and 2009, a total of 485 farmers had committed suicide. But that's an average of one suicide every 2 days.
Wherever we once were, we are no longer a Christian nation. Wherever we once were, we are no longer a Christian nation.
I believe in America, and I believe in God so strongly, and I believe that America needs a blessing.
The phrase, "God bless America," has been in Hawks' work email signature for more than a year. But just days before Veterans Day, Hawks says the hospital asked him to remove it. He says he did remove it before he sent another email. Yet the next day, he was called into the office.
I was going to be put on administrative leave immediately, and this was last Friday, right before the Veterans Day weekend.
In the end, Hawks just wants to be able to put "God bless America" back on his email signature.
Meanwhile, an American soldier fighting for faith after an army briefing slaps a hate group label on a well-established traditional Christian ministry.
That's right. The presentation linked the American Family Association to hate groups such as the Ku Klux Klan, neo-Nazis, Black Panthers, and the Nation of Islam.
The soldier was so enraged, the fearful punishment for his own Christian values, he reached out to our own Todd Starnes.
Yeah, this happened out at Camp Shelby in Mississippi, and the soldier was part of 50 active duty and reservist troops that had to attend this mandatory session. And in this session, they certainly did label the American Family Association, which is a well-respected Christian ministry, as an example of a hate group. And this soldier snapped a photograph that he sent me showing the slideshow presentation, and also another briefing, and I believe this was in the Air Force, labeled evangelical Christianity and Catholicism as examples of religious extremism. So there's something going on here. The Pentagon, we tried to talk to them. They told us we needed to talk to the Army. And at that point, the Army, well, it's been almost 24 hours and we still haven't heard back from them.
A U.S. soldier in our Army spoke out. He said this: "I had to show Americans what our soldiers are now being taught. I couldn't just let this one pass. I was completely taken back by this blatant attack, not only on the AFA, but Christians in our beliefs." Your thoughts on that?
Elizabeth, for the past 5 years under the Obama administration, we have seen a significant increase in anti-Christian rhetoric and activity in the military.
Inhabited by both Arabs and Jews, Palestine had been under the rule of Great Britain for 3 decades. In 1947, Britain announced that it planned to leave, its soldiers and economy exhausted by World War II. Zionists saw the chance to establish a country of their own, while Arabs denounced the proposed Jewish state as an attempt to steal Arab land. War between Arabs and Jews seemed inevitable. Zionist leaders turned to Jewish Americans, now the largest Jewish community in the world, soliciting funds from those Jews who saw the state of Israel as the fulfillment of a 2,000-year-old dream.
My parents had worked for so long to make the state a reality and raised money and scrimped and run benefits and strawberry lunches. We had a household that revolved around making Israel a state.
Fearing that a Jewish state could not survive the impending Arab onslaught, some Jewish Americans joined the Israeli underground army, the Haganah.
There were people who just came out of the woodwork. They had seen what was going on in Europe, and they had a need to just volunteer for this war that's about to begin.
To provide the Zionists with weapons, Jewish Americans had to dodge British soldiers. Britain closely guarded Palestine's border, hoping to prevent the outbreak of war and to win the sympathy of Arab nations who controlled the region's oil.
So all the activity that goes on in America has to be done underground. They're acquiring dynamite, they're acquiring sometimes airplanes. They flew airplanes over from Florida, surplus that they bought. At a certain point, I wanted to go on one of these ships that was leaving America to pick up refugees in Europe and to smuggle them into Palestine. This was illegal, and so the Americans are saying, we can't allow any kind of public undertaking of this sort. The British are saying, you've got to stop this. This is international law. And yet you had people ready to take those risks. American Jews made the difference in having a state or not having a state.
The UN session is being transmitted to Palestine, where huddled over radios or listening to loudspeakers in the streets, the people are avidly following the count.
Afghanistan, no.
The excitement among Jews around the country was overwhelming. Zionism was a popular movement.
Abstention.
Even people who had no intention of going there were so ignited by the idea of Jews once again having their pride and having their homeland that it was taken for granted.
Soviet Union, yes. United Kingdom.
I remember so clearly.
Abstain.
We had our ears glued to the radio for the vote at the UN.
The resolution of the Committee for Palestine was